How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Autism Awareness channel, and in today's video, this is going to be a statistics video, and it is going to describe why the rate of autism and employment is so high. If you read the numbers and the reasons, it's going to be shocking. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share for more very important statistics and some personal stories of mine. And let's get into this article. So this article is by a website called the Thinking Autism Guide. I'm going to put the article link in the description so you can read it all. But I'm going to cover some very important statistics from this. So it says in this article, in the United States, 35% of autistic 18-year-olds go to college. 35%. For those of you who don't know, the graduation rate for neurotypical people is 90%. And I actually just discovered this article yesterday, and I go to college. So the fact that I'm in the top 35% is very, very sad, actually. Of those American autistics with university diplomas, only 15% are employed. Wow, that's that is insane. This 85% unemployment rate among college-educated adults is massive. Yeah, I'd say so. The general population's unemployment rate at all education levels is only 4.5%. So yeah, if you guys are hearing that correctly, I did some math, and it turns out that autistic graduates are 19 times have a 19 times higher unemployment rate, which is completely unacceptable. Yeah, that is a terrible amount. So moving on in the article, there are some obvious reasons for this disparity. Just as with all disabled people, workplace understanding and accommodations are a huge reason why autistic people have such a hard time finding and keeping environment. Making it past an interview can be an insurmountable hurdle for many of us. But by the way, this article was written by an autistic, Maxfield Sparrow, it says. So huge shout out to him for providing a very important statistic. And for me, that's very true, you know. I have a really tough time getting a job. I have a really tough time keeping a job. A lot of the time, I don't even make it past the interview. So yeah, what he's saying right here is extremely relevant. So continuing further a bit here, what many don't realize is that the autistic unemployment rate is higher than the unemployment rate for all disabled Americans in general. Disabled people comprise about 20% of the population and have an unemployment rate of 10.5%. So even people who are disabled, autism people still have a 8 times higher unemployment rate, and higher than the unemployment rate for non-autistic Americans with developmental disabilities, so people with intellectual disabilities. Those people have an unemployment rate around 21%. So no matter what numbers you crunch, no matter what statistics you use, the autism unemployment rate is way out of proportion. No question. So moving down the article, it's talking about like the definition of unemployment and why there are so many autistic people. And the explanation is that this also means that those autistics who have become discouraged by the difficulty in finding employment and have given up looking for a job are not counted in these figures. So that's 85% of autistic people who are unemployed that actually want to work and are actually trying. And it doesn't even say the number who have given up. I'm not sure, but I mean, that has to be, I'm guessing at least an extra 10%. So statistically speaking, I am definitely an outlier, because I've been able to maintain a job for a couple years now. So, in the United States, this is what the article says, the estimated number of discouraged workers in the general population is 451,000. The CDC has estimated an autism prevalence of 1 in 68, which is about 1.5%. If that proportion also applies to discouraged workers, that would mean 6,632 diagnosed autistic workers. So, and he couldn't find a statistic of exactly how many, but that seems like a pretty good estimate to me. So then this article explains like how autism plays an effect in these very unusual numbers. It says all disabilities come with social stigma and presumptions of incompetence. Autism comes with a particularly unusual set of assumptions that leave the autistic person pressed from both directions into a pinched space no one can actually live or work with. This twin set of oversimplifications about who and how autistic people are may be one of the biggest barriers to unemployment we face, and that is very relatable. I definitely understand where that's coming from. Alright, so then it goes on to understand, or to explain rather, that employment rates when it comes to autism or employers are often influenced by the media. So he goes on to say, people who think autism is savant geniuses like Dr. Virginia Dixon from Grey's Anatomy and Dr. Sean Murphy from The Good Doctor don't understand why we need accommodations if we're so brilliant and accomplished. They are disappointed or even angry when they learn we're bright and motivated but just regular people. The vast majority of Americans in the workforce fall in through this crack between too low expectations and too high demands, but this is amplified by autism. So the article goes on to say not only do autistic workers and autistic would-be workers face the struggle for acceptance and the struggle for accommodation, but autistic people experience a higher than average rate of other issues that affect employability, such as gender and sexual identity issues and other co-occurring disabilities. Autistic people are 7 times more likely to be transgender than the general population. Since the transgender unemployment rate is 3 times the unemployment rate among the general population, the intersection of autism and gender identity issues is bound to be another aspect that explains the high rate of unemployment among autistic people. So it explains, and this is very true, the disabilities and the disorders that we have are a direct effect on our workforce. So it says, as for other disabilities, nearly half of all autistic people meet the criteria for anxiety disorders. Between 10 and 33% of autistic people qualified for the workforce have epilepsy. Around 30% of autistics also have obsessive compulsive disorder. Autistic people experience at least double the amount of sleep disorders as the general population, and so on. So yeah, guys, that is the article. It's a very long article. I didn't read the whole thing, but I did cover the main points of it, and I hope this was very beneficial to you guys, because it was for me. And if you would like to spread the word about this, I would really appreciate it if you share the video, because there are some statistics that need to be said here, especially the employers being influenced by the media. But yeah, guys, this concludes the video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a couple days. Peace.